Invisible clues, the silent language. Welcome to Invisible Clues, Episode 1, The Silent Changes When the Rhythm of Your Relationship is Altered, a space where suspicion meets evidence. I am Roger Warstone, and I have spent the last decade, 10 years, navigating the most complex labyrinth that exists, the human heart and its failures. In this first episode, which we call The Silent Changes When the Rhythm of Your Relationship is Altered, we're going to talk about that first blow, that moment when suspicion enters your life and dominates it. The pain of suspicion has a depth that pulls you under. It manipulates your feelings without you being able to stop it, robbing you of the capacity to create a plan with the tranquility and patience you need. For many, that moment turns into madness. Our purpose is to bring clarity, not to encourage any paranoia. If you're already here, the pain is real then, but the urgency to act impulsively is the worst trap. Before starting anything, you must try to keep your urge to talk to your friends under lock and key. Keep this so quiet that even you don't hear yourself. Why? Because while instinct may be the truth, it has at least 50% chance of being only a hunch or jealousy. Uncontrolled thoughts are harmful. We have seen people on the verge of desperation who, by not being able to control their minds, end up needing a private investigator. But if you listen to the invisible clues, you will have tools and a roadmap to deal with these situations with a method and a cool head. Today, we will talk about the fundamental role of that instinct, how infidelity has transformed in the digital age, and what those first level warning signs are, the general change of atmosphere at home. These are the invisible clues, the first step towards the truth. Let's begin. This segment is the intuition test. The starting point is always the same, the role of instinct. People arrive saying, I know something isn't right, but they can't explain what it is. We must analyze that gut feeling. Many call it the sixth sense. Is that chill that alerts you to a change, something strange in behavior, attitude, or crucially, the way your partner relates to you. The key is to go to the root. Remember the moment you fell in love? But here comes the difficult part, self evaluation. Before blaming the instinct, you must look at the external circumstances. Are you going through an economic crisis? Are there family or social problems that justify the stress or distance? Once those factors are ruled out, that's when the instinct of distrust gains its real weight. The part of your brain that pushes you to act usually doesn't kick in until you've already seen several pieces that don't fit. Your partner may have been hiding things for a long time until you activate what we call the urgent instinct. In that moment, the ideas in your mind are chaotic. It is vital to know how to develop those ideas without damaging your mind or the relationship if your suspicion turns out to be unfounded. Remember our advice. If it doesn't sound logical, you have to stay calm. Patience here is your greatest asset. Wait for the puzzle pieces to fit into something logical or coherent. Only then can you make solid decisions. If that hunch tells you that something is worth it and you want a chance to save it, don't move. You have to keep listening. In our next segment, we will define exactly what infidelity means in the age of smartphones. This segment is defining infidelity in the digital age. The world of infidelity has changed more in the last 10 years than in the previous 100. We are no longer just talking about a secret physical encounter. Now we have to define infidelity in the digital age. We call it digital infidelity or cyber infidelity. The central principle is the same, the betrayal of trust and the secret. But now everything occurs through a phone. The digital landscape has introduced new forms of deception that are dangerously ambiguous. Many believe emotional infidelity is the most destructive. They feel the soul of the relationship, the intimate connection, has been betrayed. They have been replaced as confident. Technology facilitates this enormously, allowing constant secret connections that deepen the bond faster than any physical encounter. However, we cannot ignore physical infidelity. For others, the carnal act is the ultimate transgression. The reality is that both are devastating. What truly destroys the relationship is the betrayal and secrecy. The categories now overlap. The majority of painful digital infidelities begin as an emotional bond that quickly includes a sexual component, blurring the line. We have identified two new categories of betrayal born from the digital environment: microinfidelity or micro cheating. Subtle, apparently harmless actions like repeatedly liking an X or sending ambiguous emojis. Their danger is that they slowly erode trust and are often the prelude to something worse. Cyber affairs, a continuous emotional and or sexual relationship that occurs exclusively through digital means. This involves a great investment of time and creates a parallel digital world with emotional exclusivity and much secrecy. Sexting falls here. If there's an exchange of explicit content, the pact of sexual exclusivity is broken. Technology has focused us to redefine fidelity. The most important part of preventing damage is establishing agreed boundaries or digital boundaries, right? If a digital behavior is hidden, a conversation, because you know it would cause your partner pain, you have already crossed the line of trust. The key is not the technology, it is the secret. In our next and final segment of today, we will talk about the first level warning signs that indicate that the general atmosphere of your relationship has already changed. This segment is the first level warning signs. If your instinct is already screaming at you, it is because the first level warning signs have already changed the atmosphere in your home. There's already an before and after. We are talking about the general change of atmosphere in the digital cup. These signals are: one, increased tension or an uncomfortable atmosphere at home. This is due to technoference and fobbing. It's a new word for me, man. English is my second language. It means ignoring a person in a social setting for one's phone. The phone is a third person, constantly interrupting cohabitation. If you feel you are constantly being judged or watched over, your online activity, tension is inevitable. The second one, emotional distance or sudden inexplicable apathy. The partner begins to use technology as digital refuge. The rituals of intimacy, a conversation, a hug, are substituted by the silence of the screen. Apathy is a passive sign that the emotional connection has been severed and intimacy has been sought elsewhere. And number three, unusually critical or argumentative behavior towards you. The unfaithful partner often uses criticism as a way to release their own anger and pain. Or worse, they use the destructive criticism so that you become the problem, thereby justifying their distance. Discussions can become more hurtful via text message, what we call cyber aggression, because the person lacks the moderation the eye contact would impose. In summary, the atmosphere of the relationship deteriorates when virtual connectivity replaces real intimacy. If you have recognized these signs or these three signs, your instinct is probably telling you the truth. But remember, this is only a first step. You need to move from intuition into evidence. This segment is the conclusion. We have reached the end of our first episode, The Invisible Clues. Our goal today was clear: to validate your instinct. Remember the cues of today, right? First, Calm. Do not act impulsively. Allow the instinct to piece together the puzzle with a method. Second, define betrayal, the core element of infidelity, whether digital or physical, is the secret and the lie. If you have noticed those three first level warning signs, palpable tension, inexplicable apathy, and disproportionate criticism, it is time to be alert. The environment has changed. The next step is to look for the proof. And the proof, friends, begins in the most important place of all communications. In our next episode, the communication breakdown, we will focus on how the silence and the deflection becomes a changing sound of your spouse. We will talk about the art of evasion, how gaslighting and projection deflects the blame. We will also explore the avoidance strategy, the spouse who seeks fights to create emotional distance. And of course, we will talk about the heart of all modern secrets, the phone as a third partner. We will see the clear signs from sudden password changes to obsession with carrying the mobile everywhere. Your path toward clarity continues next week. Thank you for trusting us. This was the Invisible Clues. Until the next clue. Also, don't forget to subscribe and give it a like and comment if you like the show or not. This show will be probably the only one that will be less than 15 minutes. After this, every episode will be 15 minutes or more. Thank you. Hey guys, how you doing? This is Roger again. This part here is an advertisement part for my company, Warstone Detective Agency. I want you to know that I'm also creating a few other shows here under this podcast. If you get a chance, just go through my podcast, review my name, follow my name, and you'll see a couple more other shows that are coming up. They're all true crime, everything that has to do with a detective agency. And that's what I'm going to include. I'm going to include all different sorts of other stuff whenever it comes on. If you're interested on this one, please give it a like and comment on it. That way I know exactly what you guys want for the next show or how are we going to build these other shows. Thank you.